All right, folks, welcome to the greatest part of the year. It's football season, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, sitting next to me on both sides, the marvelous one right here, CJ. The other marvelous one, JT here. We're going to be the football guys all season long here. We're going to do weekly stuff with you. We told you before. We're going to have it. We're going to do some fun stuff. We're going to talk about and break down the week's games that were and the week's games that's going to happen over the weekend as well. But before we get to all that, we're still in the preseason. We're getting ready for the regular season to start. There are some hot topics. First off, welcome back to the pod. It's been too long, guys. Too long at this point.
Let's go.
Right? You guys ready to rock and roll? Football season is here. It's the best time of the year. Yeah. For all of us, everyone who loves it, anyone who's in sports that loves football, this is the best time of the year. Of course, preseason football, a little tough to watch, but the difference is it's football, so it doesn't matter at this point. I'd much rather watch that over almost anything else sport-wise at this point. All right, let's start with a couple hot topics here. Of course, we talked about in our last couple podcasts that we were doing together, the rookie class, Shedeur, Jackson Dart, guys like that. Let's start there. Let's start with Shedeur, okay? Let's start with that Cleveland quarterback room, which has got like 5 guys in it. Yep. I have no idea what the deal is going to be there. Shedeur kind of played in the preseason, looked good, still like 4th or 5th on the depth chart. I have no idea why. JT, I'll start with you here. Shedeur Sanders, what's the deal and what's going on in Cleveland?
Yeah, I mean, Shedeur, he played against the Panthers, right? He played against the, Mickey Mouse defense. He had some, good plays. He looked good. He looks like a good preseason guy. But, and like the reality of things, I don't think it's, whenever he goes and plays against like a true NFL defense and he's got, some guys coming after him.
Dudes,
he's got some
dogs.
Actual, big-time players covering his receivers. I just don't think I think it's going to be too much for him, and truthfully.
CJ?
No, I agree to a certain extent because, it's hard to judge off preseason. You don't know who's playing. You have some vets playing 4 or 5 snaps or not even suiting up. So, like JT just said, like playing against those other rookie class guys that are coming in, yes, they're at the NFL level, but it's their first time in the NFL too. They don't know the speed of the game. They don't know, like, the whole process. It's a long process that goes into it.
Yeah.
But, like we were just talking about earlier, like Shedeur, I wouldn't claim him to be a bad quarterback.
Okay.
I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I think he was put in a tough situation at Cleveland. I mean, it's 4 quarterbacks there. Like, what are they going to do? They're going to roll the season with 4 new quarterbacks, or are they going to let go of Kenny Pickett?
Right.
Haven't seen much about people talk about Kenny Pickett at all.
Right.
So, do you think they keep Dylan Grable and Shedeur? Like, I don't know what they're going to do, but the Browns are just the Browns. I mean,
they're such a mess.
I hate to say it, but people go there, career dies.
Yep.
It sucks. It sucks to say and it sucks to see, but. Like, what do you expect out of the Browns? Like, what do you think they're actually going to do?
Yeah.
Not much.
I mean.
Right, not much, right.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're going to, go with Joe Flacco, right?
Yeah.
Joe Flacco, you know what you're getting with Joe Flacco. He's, veteran, about as veteran as they come.
Yeah. Seriously.
He's more than likely should be sitting on the couch. But
probably as a kid that's old enough to play in the league
exactly.
at this point.
Should be playing pickleball somewhere, but he's, he's going to be starting quarterback for the Browns. You know what you're getting out of this guy. Seasoned veteran, about as veteran as they come, like I said. But I'm sure there's going to be a change in the quarterback or for the quarterback starter, later on in the season.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Just because of the fact they have, like you said, they have 5 quarterbacks in the room.
Right.
Is it going to be Shedeur? I don't know. Shedeur might get a shot, but I'm just saying I'm not sold on him. I don't think he's going to be anything crazy.
Right.
But I'll tell you one guy that I'd love to see. I'd love to see Dylan Gabriel out there. Mm-hmm. He played at OU. He was a Sooner man, and he looked great when he was at OU. Obviously, he played at Oregon, one of the top teams last year in college football. Looked pretty damn good at Oregon, and I think he's a great quarterback. I think he's, second best QB in that room. So
the crazy part was, and we talked about this also right after the draft, that I was baffled by the fact that they took Gabriel and then took Shedeur. So you took 2. Listen, I understand when your team is just really bad with the quarterback situation. You pick up a vet like the Flacco, you draft a guy, maybe they sit behind for a while and you see what happens. Drafting Gabriel and then Shedeur. I get Shedeur was sitting there and it's something they took the shot at. But you are now making this room, it's almost unbreathable for these rookie quarterbacks because there's not much. It's either Gabriel or Shedeur is going to be your rookie guy that you're grooming. You can't groom them both. You can't start grooming 2 quarterbacks under Flacco at this point. So what do? Yeah, I think Kenny Pickett's going to be the odd man out when it's all said and done. I think he is.
I was about to say they got to start cutting.
Right, they have to.
Wednesday. If you guys don't know, Wednesday is officially the first day they start making cuts tomorrow.
Right.
Because leading up into this next preseason, like at the end of the preseason, I think that next Sunday they have to have the roster cut down to 53.
Right to 53.
So
right. Yeah.
they start releasing people Wednesday, and then Sunday after that Sunday, or I think it's Sunday or Monday, they start calling you 6 a.m. They make you wake up at 6 a.m. if you're one of those undrafted guys. I don't know if people noticed that or not, or knew that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought it.
So the situation with the Jets, with me, I was up at 6 a.m. is when the waiver wires opens. So I was told to be up at 6 a.m. So when they call me, I'm ready. And I was waiting around till 5 p.m., 6 p.m. when the waiver wires
waiting
closed.
for it to close. Wow,
So
my God, what a sweat that is, right?
It was a sweat and a half.
Right.
I think a lot of guys, like I said, like the NFL's tough, bro. Like it's a tough game, tough business.
Dude, you're the 1% of the 1% that make the league.
It's insane. And when you get to that point where it's like, all right, am I making this roster? Or am I making practice squad? It is, oh my gosh, the most stressful time of your life.
Yeah,
it's
I can
tough.
imagine. I could fully, I can envision that. Right.
For those guys, it's like it's everything you've worked for your entire life, and you're like.
And now you're waiting a 12-hour day to see if the waiver wire goes
exactly.
through. Like, oh my God, right?
Nay. But for Kenny Pickett, it's gonna be nay.
Yeah, that's that.
I'm sorry, brother. I
haven't seen anything.
You can't. He just
Listen,
can't.
Did he even play in the preseason?
I don't think if he has, it's been so limited that I haven't even noticed at that point, because I think that one thing about the Browns in the preseason is everyone's paying attention because you want to watch to see what Shador's doing or Dylan Gabriel. If we haven't mentioned Kenny Pickett yet, that means that he has done nothing in the preseason to make anyone think that. It's Flacco and I think the two kids and everyone else that's in the room got to be out. It's just where the Browns go now and say, okay, we're starting Flacco. Is it one of those situations, and I love when like the college teams do it more than the pro teams do it, where it's like Flacco on the depth chart, and then it's going to say Shador or Dylan Gabriel as the number 2 guy, because then you're going to have to activate a guy during the regular season and keep a guy as your emergency guy as well. Where is that going to be? And if Shador's not 2 and he's 3, does that do something to Shador? If Gabriel is 2 and not 3 and not 2, where does that happen there? So it's an interesting situation. We'll keep our eyes on that as well. Like I said, we're going to be doing this every week from now on until the Super Bowl is over here with us. So we're going to have a lot of topics to hit. Let's hit another quarterback topic that I think is a much better situation. Maybe not in the front in the start, but at least we know the groom is there and we know it's going to eventually be there. Russell Wilson's still the starter right now. And even Daboll came out and said Russ is our starter. Jackson's going to start behind him at this point. Good way by Brian Daboll. Guys that played football before, both of you guys, set it straight. Put your foot down. Russ is our starter. Jackson's going to groom. Here we go, the whole deal. I like how he kind of did that. I do like how Jackson Dart has looked in the preseason a little bit as well. Let me start with CJ this time, and I'll go to JT next, because I know JT is ready. He is I'm holding the dog back right now.
I'm just like grabbing my chair.
Keep him in the cage.
I need a seatbelt.
Right, seriously. It's like a roller coaster, this podcast. All season long, by the way. It's going to be a roller coaster.
Yeah.
But
Exciting.
Jackson Dart, I've seen him play. My brother's a Giants fan, so every play he had, there's an embellishment of every single throw. But what you've seen so far from Jackson Dart, I think the Giants are in good hands come either week 10 on or even next season with Jackson Dart.
My God. I mean, I was high on him during the draft.
Right.
We spoke about it. I mean, I'm a huge Jackson Dart fan. Like I said, I've seen him play in person, and it's surreal. But just his, like, if you look at Jackson Dart, I don't know if anybody else gets this image, but if you look at Jackson Dart, he kind of just seems like a vet already almost. Right. He has like that swag to him where it's just like, he's just out there, he's poised in the pocket, running corners over and stuff like that. He just has that grit, and it makes you like just love football more, just seeing somebody play the game like that. I mean, the throws he's been making, and it's the little things like the checks. I seen a video, an interview of him. I think it was a few days ago. It was like a run play or something. He checked to a pass play, and him just talking about the game. I was just like, wow. Like this is crazy.
You've been around a lot of young quarterbacks that come into the league. The speed is obviously different from college to pro. We all know that. The speed's 10 times different from preseason to regular season. We know that also. Yes, and so, especially someone who's been in the league. But like for Jackson Dart to come out and just feel comfortable or seem comfortable, that's a huge step for the Giants.
Yes, it's big for him because the Giants aren't known to be winning like that. Obviously, and like
not
you
lately.
Said, Russ is going to be the starter, but I do believe, and I'll come back to this video later on in the season. Jackson Dart will be starting at one point this season, just to try it out. Like if the Giants season is going downhill again, like they have been in the past few years, and be like, yo, Jackson, we're going to throw you in.
Right.
We're going to see how you do, and he's going to light it up. I'm already claiming it. I just have that feeling about him.
All I have to say is poor Jameis at that point because he's the odd man out if that happens.
Yeah.
JT, Jackson Dart.
I think, like I want to talk about like the QB rooms. Mm-hmm. So like the QB rooms with Cleveland. I think that QB room's like it's weird, right? Like you know how we were talking about like Cleveland's like weird. It's a weird QB room, right? Yeah. You go and look at the Giants QB room. I just think that they build and they learn from each other so much better than they do over in Cleveland.
Oh,
just because Tommy DeVito, Russell Wilson,
Jameis,
team player. Jameis Winston, the ultimate team player.
Right.
Jackson Dart seems like a pretty good team player to me, and I think he is just like learning and soaking up everything like a sponge from those guys, from those veterans. I know Jameis hasn't had the craziest NFL career, but Russell Wilson's had a he's a Super Bowl champ.
I'm going to be honest and tell you that if I'm a rookie in the league or I'm a general manager, owner of a team, and they draft a rookie, I would love if Russell Wilson spent preseason, off-season, and even during the season every day with my rookie.
Yeah.
I just feel like Russell Wilson's one of those guys who's a student of the game, loves to watch film. I mean, maybe I'm 100% wrong. Maybe he plays video games all day long. I don't know, but this is my guess, is that he's the kind of guy that all of a sudden you put a 22-year-old rookie who's never seen the speed of the game, who doesn't understand, but has a lot of skill, and you can tell. And then you put him with Russ, watching tape, watching film, going in the practice field, talking about this. Russ throws a pass in practice, goes back and says, Jackson, you see what I saw there?
Yeah.
The safety, whatever it is, I think that's huge. And if you're a Giants fan right now, between Abdul Carter and Jackson Dart, you got to almost feel like you got your solid guy for the next 10 years, your quarterback and your pass rusher.
You're trending in the right direction.
Right, it's an A+ at this point for the so far.
It definitely is, and like, and then of course Jameis, is a huge morale guy.
Oh
right.
But when it's all said and done, Jackson Dart will be he's going to be better than Shedeur Sanders when it's all said and done.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
Guaranteed.
I like that hot take. That's a good hot take.
I mean,
that's good.
And then this one's going to throw you guys off because I didn't mention this one at all. Why is no one talking about the first pick of the draft?
Wow.
It's funny you said that.
It's honestly crazy.
Why is no one talking about that? Because he's on the Titans.
Yeah,
but look,
we're talking about a 5th round pick in Shedeur, a 4th round or 3rd or 4th round pick in Dylan Gabriel. We're talking about Jackson Dart, who is not going to play and start more than likely for half the season, maybe the whole season. Who knows? If Russell Wilson's cooking in New York, you're not going to just put in Jackson Dart to put in Jackson Dart. Yeah. And all of a sudden you have the number 1 overall pick who's starting from day one, who's the franchise quarterback for this team
and who looks damn good.
And we have not. It does. Sports Center doesn't start. NFL Network doesn't start. They start with Shedeur. They start with Jackson Dart. Nope. They start with all this other storyline. And there's Cam Ward for Tennessee. I think Kobe is right. It's because he plays for Tennessee.
No, it is.
If he played for the Jets, if he played for the Dolphins, if he played for Minnesota, if he played for one of these other monster teams.
Right.
Oh, my God.
As you can tell, I know what buttons to push. Right. I know what buttons to push.
So you'll take Cam over JJ? Be honest. Come on.
If I was going to,
today, right now.
Right now.
Tennessee calls and says, we'll take JJ. You could have Cam Ward. You're the general manager.
You have to jump on that.
There's only 2 answers, yes or no. It's no maybe.
No.
Okay. Okay. Hot take. I like that.
I'm not.
Okay.
No. We landed. Listen, everything happens for a reason.
Right.
We landed J.J. McCarthy for a reason. I believe everything happens for a reason.
Okay.
And us landing J.J. McCarthy, that is our solitude. It's our home.
Okay.
J.J. McCarthy is home.
I did see someone tweet.
He belongs in Minnesota.
No, I could agree. I did see someone tweet something about J.J. the other day. I meant to send it to you. There was like, legit, the only thing J.J. has to do is just steer the wheel. Everybody else foot's on the gas. Just steer the wheel. That's all he has to do.
He's got to sit up there.
Good offensive line.
Steer the ship.
Good run game. Jeff and Addison. Defense is solid.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, you're talking about a guy that comes in, and this is the worst thing a quarterback ever wants to hear, game manager. You just want – if this guy just comes in and limits the mistakes, just limits them. He's going to have them. We know that. He's basically still a rookie. He's going to come in and play his first ever pro ball in a pro game. If he could just limit and make sure he plays smart, Minnesota to the moon. Like Minnesota to the moon. That team is stacked. Offensively, defensively.
He's getting excited.
Yeah.
Look, I'm telling you. But that's what it comes down. And I don't think JJ's like a dumb kid. He went to Michigan. You know, we're not talking about a guy that's going to come in here and try to be flashy. He knows, I think, what he looks in that room, in that meeting room.
Gosh.
And sees, and then lines up in practice and goes, looks behind him and knows he's got a good run game. Looks in front of him and knows he got solid offensive line.
Yep.
Left and the right on the outside. We're money. Tight end, money. Okay, let me take a deep breath and let's get us to the Super Bowl. Let's get us to the playoffs. Exactly. I just feel like Minnesota, if he stays healthy and does it again, it's Minnesota.
You also got to remember that, like, we're talking about these quarterbacks sitting behind other quarterbacks, right? Mm-hmm. So J.J. McCarthy right now is not sitting behind anyone. Well, last season he sat behind. I get it. You know, he sat behind Sam Darnold. Still won 14 games for the Vikings, by the way.
Yeah. Right.
Daniel Jones was there. Sure. We're not even going to count that guy. But this guy also went to the University of Michigan. A lot of alumni at the University of Michigan. Tom Brady. Ever heard of the guy? Probably has him in his contacts. Probably talks to him often. I'm sure he asks him football questions. Yeah, 100%. So J.J. McCarthy, I mean, he's not only learning from the guys that used to be there on the Vikings, but I'm sure he's outreaching to other sources and people in his phone, whatever it is, to learn from them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
If Kirk Cousins and Sam Darnold could have the years they've had in the last couple of years, if JJ has even half that skill at this point, JJ's going to be really good.
Correct me if I'm wrong, JT. Minnesota has a little bit more than what they had with Kirk Cousins and Sam Darnold.
Right, we do.
You guys rebuilt a little bit.
So
the whole line.
We got a better offensive line.
Yep.
We have a better defense, which our defense was already top 5 last year, by the way.
Van Ginkel to the moon, by the way.
Van Ginkel to the moon, man. Thank you for him.
Dolphin legend. Legend.
And I mean, obviously our running back situation got better. I don't know why Aaron Jones is like just so
like a forgotten guy, right?
He's not flashy.
Right. But he'll get you $122 touchdowns with 9 catches in a game.
He's a lunch pail guy.
Right, exactly. That's it.
And then, obviously with Jordan Mason coming over, he's fantastic.
Solid backup or 1B guy. Right.
I forgot you guys
got
it too.
Yeah, he's awesome, man.
All right, so you brought we're gonna hit one more hot topic here because it just happened in the news in the last day or two, and CJ brought it up right before we started. And you brought up Daniel Jones a little bit. Daniel Jones, resurrection in Indianapolis.
Wow, yeah.
Anthony Richardson, the future franchise quarterback of the team, now number 2 on that roster. What does that do to a player's mentality if you're AR? What does that do for Daniel Jones of this Indianapolis franchise? Because he's the guy now. I don't know if it's going to take 2 games and 6 interceptions to get him pulled. I don't know if he's going to start the season because they don't trust AR. I don't know what it is. But that's a weird situation after drafting AR, like 5th overall in the draft.
Right.
And kind of after 1 year, we're moving on.
Yeah.
We're moving on. Daniel Jones is the guy. Doesn't say a lot for AR. Also doesn't say a lot for the fact that they couldn't even remotely develop him into a starter, and they have Daniel Jones coming in, who was terrible in New York the last 2 seasons he was there. I mean, not bad, terrible. Maybe it was the team around him. We always blame the quarterback, and that's fine. But he was terrible. JT, I'll start back with you. You brought up Daniel Jones before. We kind of mushed him. He is the starter now in Indianapolis. Week 1, by the way, against the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, Colts fans, you shouldn't expect anything this year. Your hopes, your dreams, any wins that you think you have coming your way with Daniel Jones at quarterback, it's not going to happen. I'm sorry. I would personally rather watch a tree sap than watch Daniel Jones play football.
Okay.
He literally got away with legal robbery from the New York Giants.
Yeah, not bad. $40 million a year.
Unbelievable.
For a 2-year span or whatever it was. All right, CJ, you're up.
Well, my whole thing, like JT said, I piggyback off that. Just don't get your hopes up. My thing with AR, bro, is just like you're a first-round draft pick. You have to take more initiative to want that spot, especially as a quarterback position in the NFL, bro. Like you're essentially the leader of that team.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't seen anything. Like I know the media portrays a lie. Like you can believe some of it, you can believe it. I haven't seen any leadership things or heard anything leadership from the team or for anything in the media that AR has done to kick itself to get to that starting position.
Right.
So I feel like in the back of my mind, I feel like AR is just that guy that's just floating. Like he's happy to be there. Obviously, yes, he wants to play, but I don't think he's hit that wall to where he's like, okay, I need to lock in. I want this spot. I want to lead this team. I want to win games. And the Colts Nation, I mean,
it's gonna be a rough one, maybe.
It may be a rough one. Daniel Jones probably play 10, 12 games, then AR probably get a shot. But another thing with AR is staying healthy. Right. He can't stay healthy. It's always
gotta
something.
Stay healthy. Availability is the best ability.
Yeah. I think like, dude, I think like Daniel Jones plays like 2 maybe 3 games. He might just play like 2 games, and then they're just gonna slide.
Right.
Yeah.
AR
back
in
in there.
It's like because they're just like.
It's rough.
What are we gonna?
It's
do?
rough.
It's
No,
rough.
it's
in
rough.
Indianapolis.
It's rough.
It's rough.
The good part about this is, guys, that we're going to have nice topics to talk about every single week. We're going to break down the games. We're going to talk about it. We're going to have nice, fun things on the pod as well coming up. We're going to do our picks each week. We're going to have all that. It's a nice little teaser as the regular season is a couple weeks away and as preseason still here. JT's on one side, CJ's on the other. This is the football podcast. We're going to see every single week here on the Live at $1 podcast network. This is Radio's Yard. Like I said, these are my guys here for the football pod. We'll see you each week, starting this week and through the Super Bowl. For JT, for CJ, I'm Radio. This has been the football podcast of the Live at $1 podcast network.
Let's go.